portal time. Oh, I love it when this energy happens for all of us. This is a very rare event at the moment on the 20th of April 2023. It is known as a rare hybrid solar eclipse, and it's when the sun, the moon and the earth all align. And in that time, in the past, these type of events have been quite feared because a lot of chaos can come of it. And the thing is, this one's a very rare one. And with the energy and what's happening at the moment with the collective, we're all in a space of coming together, dissolving differences, all that type of thing. So it's a really beautiful time to start manifesting and creating what you really truly desire by setting the intention and getting clear on what you actually want. Now, spiders have actually been known to disassemble their webs just before an eclipse and then reassemble them after the eclipse has passed. Water and tides rise and earthquakes happen, those type of things. So the earth really shifts with times like this. So be mindful of how Mother Nature reacts and how we're so connected and our moods. We can be more sensitive, all that type of thing. But we can get through this one because, we can get through all of them, but we can get through this one at a higher level. It's a real exciting time because it's happening to everybody, no matter how subtle it may be. But don't be surprised, being an empath, no doubt, that you'll be a bit more sensitive. So be mindful of your reactions, your emotions, your feelings, and just let yourself flow as much as you can. Now, this particular eclipse that we're coming into is actually also known as the Ninglu eclipse, which is an Aboriginal word, which means high ground, high earth. And the best place you can see it is for about 3 hours in Australia on the Ninglu Peninsula. So let's get started. Let's see what's happening with the portals, what your message is. But at this time, we're all going through it. And when we're aware of it and we focus on what we want and the other side, we then become a bit more clear. And whatever happens through this is definitely what's meant to happen. But when we get a bit more intentional, we can go through it so much easier. So pick a portal, 1, 2, or 3, and let's see what Spirit has to say for you today. Okay, portal number 1. Now, make sure you've subscribed to my channel. If not, share, like, and all those things. And let's see. Remember, these are general readings as well, okay? So take what resonates, but let's get into it. Your card to start with is, let me tell you, I'm using the Gateways of Light activation cards by Kyle Gray. And the first card that you get for portal number 1 is the Halls of Amenti Initiation. And it says secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. Ooh, let's just have a look at this card for a moment. It's really, what's really standing out to me is the floor, the reflection. Because I know that it's all about what you're standing on, the foundations you've worked hard to create. Now, it's quite mysterious in this energy, I must admit. It's quite exciting. But I know that when I sit in it, you've worked really hard and you're actually more secure than you feel. So I know that you would be at the start of the next phase for you, because the ground is just gorgeous. It's really connected you to what's going to happen next. Now, you've done all the groundwork. And even if you feel as though other people have been there with you, it feels like they've contributed, but you're the one that's kept this going. Whether this be a relationship, a job, just a feeling that you have, that you're feeling quite... Up until now, it feels like you're the one that's made this happen. And I do feel like people have been around you and helping you, but it's sort of like you could have done it without them. But you're letting go now. You're letting go to the point where, and I had this with a client yesterday, where we were talking about when you like to do things your way and somebody comes in and says, oh, I can do that. And they can, right? But they're not going to do it your way. They're going to do it their way. But the result still is the same. The job's still going to get done. So throughout getting to this point, you've found it quite difficult to allow people to do it their way. So there's a little bit of a control aspect to get to this point. Now, as you work through this gorgeous energetic manifestation portal, rare, hybrid eclipse, it's going to be like a transition of you surrendering to allowing other people to bring in their skill set. Because up until now, you've really done this all yourself. Even though you've had contributions from other people. And it's the trust factor. The trust now is just going to go, you're literally opening from your heart space here. I just want to do that noise again. Because when you allow yourself the freedom of just going, you know what, F it, I'm going to just trust and move forward, things will drop in nicely. It's like, and I feel like it may feel a little chaotic for you over the next week or so, but not bad chaotic, more like just feeling a bit rushed, like things are happening too quick. But the thing is, things are happening quickly. And you don't want to drop the ball as if to say that you're doing, you're focusing on the control aspect, or you're focusing on the outcome has to be this way, or when you're really rigid with your expectations, you're going to miss the beautiful magic that's actually happening, because a lot of things is happening for you right now, not to you. So over the next week or two, it's going through this activation, this manifestation portal. You're going to find that it's going to make sense on the other side. And if you try to control it too tightly, you'll learn the hard way. You might feel like you're at the start again, but you're certainly not. You're actually just at the start of where other people can see all the work that you've done now. This is, when like somebody's pregnant, for example, and I say this about a lot of things, when you're pregnant for the first 3 months, you know how they say sort of keep it to yourself in case, things can happen. So it's sort of like your secret. In that, you might feel a little bit messy. You might feel a little bit disconnected. You might feel a little bit lonely. You're a bit fearful. All these things, as well as being excited, of course. But you get to the point where you look a little bit bloated and you feel like you want to tell people, hey, I'm pregnant. So they realize that you're not bloated or fat, right? This is the analogy I get. And the minute you feel safe enough to share your beautiful news, all of a sudden everyone realizes, she's pregnant. She isn't bloated, she isn't fat. They're not even thinking that, but as a pregnant woman, we start feeling this way. Now, I know that where you're at in the past, it's almost like you've been carrying yourself. You haven't been speaking honestly. You've been doing it all for yourself, and it's been a little bit messy. You haven't looked your best, let's say, in a energetic sense. And now you're at the point where now you can tell your news. You're allowed to say how you feel. You're allowed to bring your product to the market. You're allowed to be at that place where it's coming, you're sharing it now. And it's freaking scary, right? Now, let's just say everyone now knows I'm pregnant. If I fail at this, everybody's going to know. If I let people know my secrets, I'm susceptible to disappointing. And there's this question that's going on with you right now that if everybody knows, then I've got these standards I have to live up to. This is a thing. Even though people are happy for you, they're not judging you about this. They're just getting on with their lives and doing the best they can based on the experiences they've been through. So you've done the foundation. You've done a lot of work to get here. Keep going. The next card we get for you is the Empress. And this one says, lavish abundance. Oh my God, listen to this. It says, give birth to your dreams. Here I am giving these pregnancy analogies going, where is this going? But thank you, Spirit. Nurture yourself and others. You are at the point now where you're ready to give birth. The pregnancy's happening and it's been up and down. The foundation is there. The ground is there. The people have been there. But now you have to bring that aspect of trust. Because when you trust, my darling, when you fully surrender and go, nothing more I can do here, the most magical things take place. I would love to hear what this is for you. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a business. It doesn't have to be an idea. It doesn't have to be, it could simply be just a conversation that needs to be had of how you feel in a long-term relationship, or if you want to get into a relationship, or if you have something on your mind that it's time that you share it with a parent, a child, yourself. But whatever it is, it's now going next level to making it public, whatever that is for you. But you've got this, and this energy that's going to push you through over the next week or two is absolutely amazing. Take the reins, drop them, take away the need to control, trust the process. You've got this, and that is your reading for portal number 1. Okay, portal number 2. Hello, beautifuls. Thank you so much for picking portal number 2 today. Now, I actually was shuffling your cards just before and I dropped them all. So I know that you have been carrying a lot, and I feel like a lot isn't yours as well. You've been carrying a lot of other people's things and stuff. And you're allowed now to say, I need to step back a little bit, because this portal for you is a rest and restoration. I want to stop and take a breath and reprioritize your energy, because you've been putting it in places that isn't a win-win. Now, the card that I get, and I'm using the deck today, Gateways of Light Activation, and it's by Kyle Gray. And your card, my darling, is Star Being Healing Codes. It's important information. Wounds are healed, recharging. Don't you love how spirit works? Now, this is the activation that's happening for you through this beautiful eclipse. We're coming into a new moon also, which is in Aries, which is all about action and fire and that type of energy. Now, I want you to use that energy in order for you to recuperate. Usually in an Aries energy, it would be like getting things done and really moving and charging forward. But this energy, I need you to almost use it to carry you through the next week or so of you really just being adamant to have the boundaries, adamant to stop in your tracks because you've done enough here. You've actually done too much here, to the point where sometimes we enable other people's behaviors instead of empowering them. Now, I can feel that you've done enough, whether this is a work, relationship, whatever this situation is for you, remembering this is a general reading, you've actually almost outgrown the behaviors that you have been displaying of late. Because I know that you've been going into people's business. They've asked you to. You're not overstepping by any means. But you're going into other people's business and literally owning it as if it's happening to you. Now, I know, being an empath, I can watch a movie and I get so into it that I feel like I'm the character and it's literally happening to me. So if it's a sad movie, it's like, oh my God. If it's a scary movie or whatever, it's happening to me. Sometimes through lockdown, I would binge watch episodes and binge watch series. And I was like so exhausted because I'd watched one after the other, like all those things were happening to me and I could not wait till I was finished. And I had to watch it all, and I'd get through it and I was exhausted. I liked the show, but I was exhausted because I couldn't differentiate between my life and what I was seeing. And I feel like this is happening to you now. I feel like recently you've been so deep into other people's shit that it feels as though it's happening to you. When you realize that you can actually have this space to stop and to recalibrate, recharge, reset, get some boundaries about yourself, you'll then realize that it's not happening to you, it's happening to them or happening for them. And you're allowed, oh look, I set up, just breathe. You're allowed to just breathe, right? You're allowed to just have a moment. Because when we do, I'll give you another example. I used to suffer the most debilitating anxiety. It was ridiculous. I would have to, and I've said this story a few times, I would literally have to drive to the hospital and park in the car, in the driveway, in the car park, to actually get some sleep because I was scared I was going to die. This was in my early 20s. And my partner at the time allowed me to do it and didn't really get sucked into my behaviors. And he would go, you'd be right, roll over, go to sleep. And you know what? If he had it turned around going, what is it? Tell me, how are you feeling? Let's work through it. I would have felt almost that he was enabling my behavior and making me feel worse. That's me though. But I know I need to share that story because there's part of it here that will resonate with some of you. And sometimes you just want to be told, you're okay, you'll get through it. And I feel as though you've been getting so involved that you feel like it's happening to you, that you're exhausted because you've got other stuff going on in your life which needs your focus. Because other things are happening that you're missing out on where you should be more attentive because you've been over here and so committed. So now this beautiful opportunity of this manifestation hybrid eclipse calls you to come back into your own energy, to really reassess where you should be at, what calls you from your gut, not your head. When we answer things with our head, that's just us thinking and we come out of our body. When we answer things with our body, which is our heart, which is our gut, that's where we're meant to be. So really take this time, and because you've been going so fast, you're missing the cues. Your body's already telling you what to do, where you should be. So the next week or so, 2 weeks, I need you to, Spirit needs you to stop. Put the tools down. Have a feel into your body. Are you tired? Are you getting headaches? What is it? Is there something on your mind? Throat chakra, you need to share. And it's very interesting because I'm in my studio doing my YouTube channel. It's school holidays here and I can hear my children having the biggest argument and screaming right now. And I know that I need to go and see what's going on. So what's calling you? That's where your attention needs to be. Not on the other stuff that's draining you. And that is your reading for portal number 2. This eclipse has got you, and it's going to move you very quickly. But in that energy, it's about you stopping still. And then it all makes sense, and you'll know where to go from there. Portal number 2, that's for you. All right, portal number 3. Let's see what's going on for you. Oh, feel quite content here. I feel quite accomplished. Quite accomplished. You've done something or made a decision. You know, I see clients and I might not see them for a month or two and they turn up and I can feel their energy and just see them. Straight away, I know they're different. And every time it's after they've just made a decision that makes sense. And I feel like you've just made a decision. And if you haven't, you're about to. A decision that just makes sense. Because that means you're back on purpose. That means you're back on track. Now your card is, ooh, wow. The Merkaba activation, the Merkaba. There's a bit of sacred geometry going on here. This is transcendence, ascension. You are rising up. Yeah, you are so on purpose. Look at that card, would you? Have you got a Merkaba? If you haven't, it may be something you may want to access. You can just Google them and get little cheap crystal ones and wear them around your neck. I've got one of those. They're next level. And even Google the meaning of it, because the Merkaba is something that's very powerful. And going through this portal and knowing that straight away when I got into your energy that I felt on purpose again. I felt that I had connected with a sense of knowing. A sense of knowing. Now, I don't feel like it was easy to get here, don't you get me wrong. It wasn't easy, but once you did it and once you made that decision, you just went, yep, I know. Now, if this feels like you haven't made the decision yet, it's purely because you're about to. And again, working with clients, when I do readings or tapping or whatever it may be, coaching, there's always a choice. There's always a decision to be made. But when people say things like, I have no choice, it has to be this way, all those things, it's purely because the choice that they could make that's more aligned with who they are, their truth, is just a choice they don't wish to make. So they see it as not an option. So if the choice here still needs to be made, it may very well be one that you just don't want to do. But when you sit in it, make the decision in your mind's eye and sit in that, your body will tell you if it's right or not your head. Our head leads us astray sometimes. It's in our body that brings the truth. Now you, my darling soul, I feel most of you have already made this decision because I really feel like you're on purpose. Now, you may not know what's next, as in you go, I'm in this space and I just don't know what's going to happen next, but you are so trusting right now. It's like a delightful energy that I almost want to hang out with you, just to be with you, because then I'll know I'm safe. And it's not that you have done anything different. Everything still seems the same. It's just that you've just got this clarity that has helped you surrender and just let go of the reins, right? I think it was reading 2 where I was saying, let go of the reins, you're holding so tightly. Whereas this one, you've actually done it. This actually brings you closer to money too, by the way. Not heaps, but plenty. Enough, enough to have choices. So if you're waiting on a settlement, if you're waiting on a payout, if things are up in the air, know that it will come to fruition. There will be money in your account. That's how this is. And again, this is a general reading, doesn't resonate for everyone, but I see your bank account looking safe. That's the word. You've been chasing safety, you see. And just with this decision and this shift, energetically going through this portal is going to bring safety to you. It may not be as smooth as we hope, but it definitely is the end game. You get the Empress as well. We got the Empress for Portal 1, I think it was. And this is awesome. You got Archangel Gabriel. That's what really stands out for me in this one. Archangel Gabriel, you're really being looked after. You're really being looked after here. And this says, give birth to your dreams. Maybe it was number 2. I can't remember which portal anymore. It doesn't matter. But this one's about nurturing yourself and others. Now, when I read a card, and I get it for different readings of different people, different things stand out to me. So this one was more about giving birth with the first reading. Now, this one for you is almost the limelight. Now, if you have a look at this, you can see the trees behind and the angels stepping out and glowing. Now, that's what stands out to me here the most. This is about you glowing. This is about you showing up. This is about you just being there, and that's enough. Now, in the past, I know there's been bouts of anxiety and panic and that type of stuff where you think, okay, let me do something else. Let me do something else. And I was talking about this. I helped out at a Redback Soul Sisters boot camp at the weekend at the Mornington Peninsula with Marnie and Belinda and the gang. And we were talking about how just being there is enough. Being in the room with someone is enough. But one of my challenges is that I always feel like I want to give more. And when I sit there, like even in a room where I've got to receive, you know, someone's doing the dishes, I'll go, I'll get out of the way, I'll do the dishes, or let me get you a cup of tea, or where's your broom, and all those type of things. It's like, it's never enough. I'm never giving enough. And I feel like up until now, that's been a bit of a story you've been telling yourself, that there's always more you need to give. And now you've sort of done this huge energetic shift coming through this portal, going into this new moon energy, where you're going to be able to receive gracefully as well, and realize that you actually do deserve that. When people give you compliments, you're going to easily be able to say thank you, rather than, oh, this old thing. Or, so do you. You look great too. Which is all well and good, but that's sort of a backhander, isn't it? Giving it back to them. Whereas when someone gives you a compliment, I feel in your energy right now and moving forward over the next couple of weeks through this portal would be an absolute beautiful time for you just simply say thank you. That's nice, thank you. And smile. Because you, my darling, are in a really powerful position now. Sit in it, write about it, know it, and enjoy it. You're allowed. There's still more. There's still more to come. But you're allowed to show up and just be there. And you don't have to think it through. There's nothing more for you to actually do but be there. And when you're there, the synchronicities will match up because you're very aligned already. And the manifestation power going through this portal is next level. So you just keep staying in this power and more of it will come. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. So good job. And that is your reading for portal number 3. Thank you so much for tuning in, my gorgeouses. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and have a look down in all the descriptions. I've got a Queensland tour coming up. Queensland, Sunshine Coast, where I'm going to be bringing messages and doing day retreats. And also I'm part of a 5-day retreat at Noosaville. So please have a look down. Send me a DM if you want a booking form. Might as well. Let's get there. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Take care, beautifuls. Stay kind to others, but be kind to yourself. Peace out.